Hello, 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 hello. So have you tried to diet, but you just couldn't take the hunger? So this video is for you if that's what's the problem that you're going through. So when I first started trying to lose weight, I had the same problem. Every time when I'm supposed to eat, I feel guilty. So I try to starve myself. But the problem with that is when you're supposed to eat and you are not willing to eat because you're scared of gaining weight, then you're constantly in this battle, in this anxiety about food. If that's how you're losing weight, then that's a defeating battle. You will not win. So today, the way I'm gonna break it out to you on how to diet and how to conduct the intermittent fasting without feeling the hunger. And if you go through this whole video, then it will work for you and you will be able to lose weight and you will be able to do the intermittent fasting without feeling hungry. And at the end of the session, I will give you one more bonus that's going to help you to improve your health overall. So I started my weight losing journey about, I think maybe 5 years ago. And I tried all different ways. I tried the keto diet. I tried, not to eat. I tried to starve myself. None of them worked. And what eventually worked is a Eastern and Western blend of modified intermittent fasting. So today we're just gonna focus on how to conduct intermittent fasting without feeling the hunger. So the number one, most important is you gotta start gradually. So as we know, the reason intermittent fasting is so effective is because you are prolonging the time when your stomach is empty. That's what makes intermittent fasting effective. It's not about not eating. It's not about starving yourself. It's about when you are supposed to eat, you eat. You enjoy the food. You eat, as much as you want. And when you're not eating, then you will keep your stomach empty. So that's the whole central thesis of intermittent fasting. But in order to keep yourself feeling hungry, you want to start gradually. Right? Like everything else, like when you're a baby, you got to start from crawling first. After you learn how to crawl, then you can learn how to walk. After you learn how to walk, then you can learn how to run, right? Same thing here. So first, you start with 16-8. So that's where most people start when they start first trying at intermittent fasting. What that mean is you will have an 8-hour feeding window, and then you have a 16-hour window where your stomach's empty. Let me give you an example. For example, let's say if you start eating your first meal at 1 p.m. and your last meal at 8 p.m. So as you can see, your feeding window is between 1 p.m. to 8 p.m., right? So this gives you 16-hour. Hello, welcome, Anthony. This gives you a 16-hour window, a 16-hour window where your stomach's empty. Welcome. So this is the first thing, okay? So for the ones that you just joined, the first point to intermittent fasting, trying to lose weight without feeling hungry, is to start gradually. So first you start with 16-8, meaning you eat during the 8-hour window and you fast during the 16-hour window. So then once you become used to it, then you gradually and you go to the next level, right? Usually, I would say you could stay with the 16-8 for about 1 month. Hello, welcome. So depending on your own pace, right? You could keep the 16-8-hour window for 1 month or 2 months, whatever. And then once you become used to it, then you increase your fasting window duration, right? So remember, we start from 16-8, meaning that you're gonna eat during the 8-hour window, right? So let's say if you try that for 1 month, then you graduate to 18-6, right? So this time, instead of eating between the 8-hour window, hello, welcome, instead of eating between the 8-hour window, you eat between the 6-hour window. Have you noticed? Well, now we have shrunk the feeding window from 8-hour to 6-hour. And that means you will have a longer fasting window, right? So instead of 16-hour fasting window, now you have an 18-hour fasting window, right? So this is the number one trick to make sure that you do not feel hungry when you try to lose weight and conduct the intermittent fasting. You gradually increase the fasting window and you gradually reduce the feeding window. Okay, this is number one trick. So number two, it's number two trick. It's you cut the sugar and the carbs gradually. So if you want, hello, welcome George. So for George, for the people that just came in, so today we're talking about how to fast, how to lose weight without feeling hungry. So the first trick you want to you want to make sure to do is to gradually increase the fasting window. Gradually increase the fasting window. Okay. Welcome. First trick: gradually increase the fasting window. Gradually reduce the feeding window. That's the first trick to make sure you do not feel hungry when you try to lose weight. And the second trick, you want to gradually reduce of the intake of sugar and the carbs. I'll tell you why later. Okay. Welcome, Christina. Why do you want to reduce the intake of sugar and carbs? Because most people have the misconception. They think they're getting fat because they're eating too much fat. They think because they're eating too much meat. No, most people got fat because they eat too much sugar. Because when you eat too much sugar, the sugar will turn into fat. Welcome. So today we're talking about how to fast without feeling hungry, how to lose weight without feeling hungry. So we already covered 2 points. The number one point is to gradually increase your fasting window and gradually reduce your feeding window. That's the first trick. Okay. Yeah, I mean, everybody's different. So yeah, okay, let me continue. Sugar is not, the problem with sugar is not only make you fat, but if you go do the research, you will understand almost all the major disease came from too much sugar consumption. You name it. Diabetes, heart attack, high cholesterol, all of this major disease came from too much consumption of sugar. If you don't believe me, you can go look it up. And once you look it up, you will understand. That's why removing or reducing sugar consumption is so important. You say everything's different, who you're talking to then. Okay? Just go look it up, then you will thank me, okay? Okay, how to reduce the sugar and carbs. The reason you want to reduce carbs, I'm not telling you to reduce all the carbs. I'm telling you to reduce the manufactured carbs. For example, the carbs from potato, those are healthy carbs, right? So the easiest way to reduce sugar is start by cutting down the soda consumption. Soda is the worst. So this guy Cyber, he just laughed and he's talking about eating a lot of sugar. So almost all the Americans are duped by all these major companies. If you go to the supermarkets, you probably didn't notice 99% of the packaged food are all made with one ingredient, which is corn syrup. Okay, they're all corn syrup. They're basically all sugar. And the reason most Americans are fat and have all this disease is because too much sugar consumption. Cyber, you should go look it up on ChatGPT, on Google, search, educate yourself. You will thank me, okay? Although maybe now you do not think sugar is bad for you, but eventually you will understand, okay? So how do you reduce soda consumption? You first start from home, okay? So most people, they would when they go to Costco, they would buy a whole bunch of soda, the big cans, and they eat at home. They drink the soda at home. So first, you can start from